here's the plate that makes the set of the other one, and it has sea salt on the bottom of that one too. So we'll see how these come out. I'll have to put another shelf in there before I close the lid, and I've got room for about 2 more shelves of things to go in there. Plus, I wanted to show you this before I put it in the kiln. This is sea salt on the outside, and this is straight out of the bottle underglaze on the inside and here. Originally, I just was going to experiment with this, but I thought, what the heck, let's just go full bore and see what happens. And then, so I decided I'd sacrifice this guy, this little mug here, and I put the I put the underglaze all over it. So I think that the sea mist, I mean, it's possible that the underglaze will cause the overglaze to run, and so I very cautiously went with putting this on the inside and keeping it on the inside. Now this one, I'm going to put it on a cookie with kiln wash on the cookie, and I'm going to glaze over this underglaze with my, with my sea mist, unless I break this before it gets in there. So I'm going to put it on the outside of this and then put it on a cookie just as a precaution, and see what happens with the sea mist over it on the outside. So we have more possibilities of happenings this way. Remember the happenings? Oh, the happening. Okay, I'll be back. Just fired it, just cooled off yesterday, so this is sea salt. It's just a little pedestal for something to sit on, mostly a teapot or something. And this here's a little, this is probably going to be a flower vase. It's got sea mist on the inside and sea salt. I kind of like that sea salt. And it's got a bare rim. So, got those 2 things. It is so windy today. And my cookie cracked. Boy, this one I've used a whole lot, and I guess it just gave out. So, but I can still use the pieces if they're big enough for something to sit on. So, you know, that's what they're for. I was afraid that glaze was going to run. Here's another pedestal that goes to a tagine that somebody already has. A little spoon rest thing. This is going to be the top part of a shrimp cocktail bowl. So the shrimp cocktail sauce is going to go in here, and this is going to go inside of another bowl. I'll see if I can find that in here somewhere. Here's a great big pot. It's just beautiful. This has sea salt, and this is speckled clay. So let me fix my camera here. I just about knocked it off. This is speckled clay plus the sea salt. It just gives it double specks. It's just beautiful. And I left the rim. It has kind of a toasty ring around there. Nice. See sea mist on the inside. Let's see, one of these. Oh, okay, here is the one that I did the experiment on. So there's that neon green underglaze underneath there. And this was the one that I had under the sink and I got it wet. I have sea salt on the outside of this. Not sure if I can. So this one also got the green underglaze. So it did make a difference, but it's so subtle. Let me see if I can show you the difference in this light. So this one is pure sea mist, and sea mist all the way. Okay, so then let me put that kind of in the middle here, and then I'll look with the camera, I'll look straight down on it and get out of my own shadow here. And you can see the difference. So I don't know if it's even going to be perceptible on camera. So you can see, so it's all the same clay, it's all speckled, spectacular. These two had the neon green underglaze. It lightened it, and it obscured some of the specks, especially in this one. Now this plate is sea mist, straight sea mist, no alterations. This is just same 3 coats on top of neon green. So basically it just lightened it. That's all it did. This is the little green spot that it was real heavy right here where it just made a little dark spot there. And I was afraid that that would do something, and it did, but it didn't make it ugly or anything. This is perfectly successful glaze. So there are a couple of other things in here that I did the experiment on, and take these shelves out. Okay. All right, let's see here. Woo, pretty. What have we got here? So here is one. Ooh, I think I'm beginning to see what is doing. Okay. This one has, this little bowl here has neon, whoops, there go my glasses. It's actually, I guess it's a flower pot. So I used it as a sacrificial. So this has neon green on the inside. And outside. Wow, that's interesting how this, and I didn't put it, oh, this is really a good example because see this band around the bottom? It doesn't have neon green on it, and right here it had neon green full strength underglaze under the sea mist. Very interesting. So what I'm gathering from this is that the underglaze has to be put on there pretty much full strength to show up. And the underglaze is likely to move more than the sea mist was. And so you can see where it began to run underneath. You can just see, I just happen to know that that's what happened. But anybody purchasing this would just think it was the nuance of the glaze and wouldn't. So, but there's the difference. This bowl underneath is pure sea mist, and this one has the green. Now, I'd like to have about 50% of that much green, because this is more green than I wanted. I wanted it to go a little green, but not quite that much. So, let's see what else we have. There's a mug in here somewhere, but I want to show you this. Look how this just splattered down here around this pot. Oh, and I see why now. This pot had a whole bunch of, now even more interesting, I had a bunch of latex wax resist on this pot because this is the bottom of the shrimp cocktail thing. And so it was the wax probably, or something. And this is on porcelain. No, wait a minute. This is white stoneware. So this is going to be a two-part piece. That's a weird way that copper float came out inside there. There's no copper. It doesn't have any of the glisten, the metallic look, except right up around the rim, around here, and down on the inside. It's kind of got a matte finish. Weird. So my plan was to go back over this. So I put neon green underglaze, and look how green that is. That's weird. Now I'm going to go over it with the sea mist and fire it again. And I don't know, this is just going to hold ice and water. So, but isn't that interesting how the only sparkly stuff out of that copper float is up here around the top? I'm thinking it got too hot down there. So, okay, well, we'll see how this comes out on the next one. So we'll set that down. Let me get you put back over here. Whoops. I don't usually film this out here. I'm in the garage and it's a really windy day. We're supposed to get storms before it's all over with. But that's interesting how that did that to my kiln shelf. We'll have to work on that one before I can use it again. Okay. So, that is really something here. That is too green for what I wanted, but it's getting in the right direction. So we went too far on this one. We'll stack up these. This is how the shrimp cocktail thing is going to work. My theory was that this would, with the sea mist over it, would look a little bit like seaweed or something like that. And the cocktail goes in here, ice goes in there, and then they just fit together and you put the shrimp around the edge like that. Seafood lovers love their shrimp cocktail. This is even weirder than weird. Okay, I'll put this down. Let me just lay this down like that. On this mug, I put neon green all over it. And then I put sea mist all over it. But this was on the bottom shelf next to that pot that had the latex wax resist all over it. It's a great success on the glaze. Beautiful. I got a little spot I'm gonna have to check out on the very bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind that off, but it's pretty. And it's weird. So don't put it on. I guess my lesson from this is if I'm doing that color experiment, don't put it on the bottom shelf, because the bottom shelf is either getting too hot or not hot enough. Not sure yet. May figure it out. before it's over. So let's get there are a couple other things down here. Okay. Yay, there we go. A couple of things, if I can keep from knocking that in there. Okay, one of these has a lid to it, and I'm not sure which one it is. It could be that one. Okay, that's pretty. Copper float, sea mist with iron luster around the edge. That just looks really nice. Okay, let's get this out. Oh boy, this is my redo, and I think it's going to be a recycle now. It's going to probably go in the trash because it didn't really help those little craters on there. That was one of the ones I redid. This came out pretty with blue surf all over it. Sea mist on the inside. And blue surf. That's a Mako color. Blue surf is. Okay. Well, here's another little pot that I may have to use the hammer on. I waxed it and I kept the glaze away from the opening, but we'll just see. This one ought to come apart easily. So, okay. Nice sea mist on the inside, bare rim on the outside. That looks pretty good. This one has craters on it. I'm just going to have to call my repair guy and see what is going on with that. It may go to that one. Okay, here's the, oops, I've got some goo on there. Well, that looks better than it did. It did have some really ugly glaze. I don't know what it was, but I covered it with something else and put it in here. I'm not sure what I covered it with. I could have covered it with sea mist. It was some dark brownish color before. Let's see how this, so this looks pretty good. Sea mist on the inside. Okay, let me clear these and remove a shelf or two. Okay, this one is sea mist, and around the very outside edge I put indigo float, and just to see what would happen. And it's got a real pretty pinkish purplish halo to it. It's not real distinct, and it's got a few runs that came down to that broke nicely over that edge. I like the way that happened. Ooh, speckled on the back, I guess. So here's the indigo float, and that was sea mist. I believe it was sea mist over here. Interesting how that turned brown. Interesting result. So this one is straight sea mist with copper float on the bottom. Now this copper float turned out beautifully. Maybe that's the thing. The copper float really likes the advancer shelves, maybe. But this even ran just a little bit, and that's pretty. Okay. These are sea mist front and back, naked rim. Okay, let me move that shelf. Okay. Oh, that one didn't do it well either. It's still got craters. This might have been a do-over as well, because I haven't made any new ones of these lately. That's going in the trash. Well, or I may just, some of these I'll take in the house, and if I want hands-free phone, I'll just put my phone in here and I'll just use this at home or something. Not worried about that. Sea mist on speckled sea mist with copper on the back. That looks pretty good. This is sea mist, copper float on the back. This goes to that other plate as a set, and this is just a little flat plate. Sea mist. Okay, I brought this inside, so I almost forgot it. But I put my jacket, the lining of my jacket is a nice contrast here, so we can see if I can. Let's make sure I'm in the camera. See if we can get this off of here. This may be my second doorstop in as many weeks. There we go. Yay, it came off, and it doesn't look like there's any damage. Let's see. There we go. That's all good. And this is all good. Yay! Believe it or not, that is sea mist on the inside of there. And that looks funny because it's really dark. You know, the stuff that was in the bottom part of that kiln didn't have the, I mean, the colors were a little off, so I'm not sure what's going on. And I'm getting some red reflection on my shirt. Let me get further away from it. There we go. This says sea mist, but it really came out very, very blue. Let me walk over to the window and, so you can see the color better. There we go. It's a little darker than what I kind of expected there. And I didn't, I don't, did I put any? No, I don't have any green, although you're seeing some green. It might be from the color of the sky, because we're about to get some tornadoes coming through here, or something coming through here. Hopefully it won't be tornadoes that, you know, touch down or anything. Maybe it'll hopefully just fly on by and stay up in the sky. Again, here is the green underneath, full strength, and here is the sea mist, full strength. So that's what happens. I want it about 50% going this direction. Okay, y'all, take it easy. Signing out. Love ya.